What's going on? Um, I just wanted to make a quick video on speaking on what is a teacher, and what's what's the point of like studying. And a teacher, and we talking about in the spiritual aspect, is is a person or anything external, because it doesn't have to be a physical person or somebody saying, oh, I'm going to teach you this or teach you that. There's times when I show my son. We go, like, I go places, and then in New York, there's places where there's homeless people, and like there's somebody on the ground, and then I show my son. I say, look at this person. Like, sometimes when you say you're hungry, and you get to eat what you want, and then you complaining about you hungry and this and that, but look at this guy, and not to like talk down on a person or anything, but and just seeing that person can teach you. That person doesn't even know that he's teaching somebody else something, just by seeing another person in that situation. So anything external is good to learn in that way also, and those things could be your teacher, and when we say study, it doesn't mean you have to get pen and paper and get a dictionary and say, okay, what's this mean and what that mean. No, studying meaning observing, being observant in your life, period. Like, just in general, like, it doesn't even have to be anything special happening. You could just be somewhere chilling and observing things, and you just, that can be your way of studying, and taking things internally, and getting understanding. A teacher, or like a messenger, or a coach, these things, even just the external world, is like, okay, the teacher can be it's like, say, a fruit, apple, or an orange. You have the physical orange. You're looking at it. Okay, I'm going to eat this orange. Okay. In a lot of texts, when they talk about bread, when they say bread, or they say food, stuff like that, they're really talking about knowledge, like giving knowledge. And like, even give us today our daily bread. They're talking about knowledge. It's not talking about like physical things to eat, and or give us today our material things. It's talking about knowledge and understanding to know God. And let's say vitamin C. Vitamin C is God. Vitamin C is God. Let's just say that. And this person comes up to you as an orange, and then you take in the orange, you eat it. When you eat that orange, your body breaks down that physical orange, and it goes into your small intestines and extracts what it needs from that orange. It takes the vitamin C, and then that physical orange that you've seen is basically goes straight into the toilet the next day or something. And this is how we should, well, we don't want to say just treat people like teachers and stuff like this, like, oh, just take what you want and just treat them like crap. But I mean, when I say this is, you can't hold on to the physical person or what they their physical their personality and expect them to be a whole certain way, and then you get disappointed, because humans are humans. So a human is going to be flawed no matter what. And but sometimes you have some people with it, they have the vitamin C, and then they can teach you something, whatever level or whatever they have within them. They might have vitamin K or something, and that's a different teaching about something else. They have a knowledge about this, and then you take that in, and then you put to waste what you don't need. Just like how when you take in an orange, the body extracts what it needs, and then whatever is waste, that's it. It just goes into waste, because that physical orange that you ate is actually what's in the toilet. But the part that you can't see, you can't look at an orange and say, oh, there go a little piece of vitamin C right there. No, it's within it, and your body extracts it, and then whatever the physical orange is like the carrier of the vitamins and nutrients or whatever. But the vitamins and nutrients is what you need. So it takes that, and then the physical orange is nothing. So this is the same thing. And it's also like a delivery, a mailman. If a mailman is giving you your bills or giving you a certain giving you a letter that you don't want, or giving you a good letter, take what the mailman gives you, but you can't be mad, or you can thank them for delivering it, the one that you wanted. But if it's something that you didn't want, you can't really get mad at them, because they gave you what they had to do. And it's also like a root. Like say like a root you boiling for tea. The root is like when you boil it, it takes from the root what's needed, and then later on you just throw away the root, or do something else with it. But it extracts what it needed, and that's it. And then you throw out what's left, or you throw out the herb or whatever after you extracted what you want from it. And this is what, and the knowledge is what you need to extract. And this is when somebody's giving a teaching, and this This is what being a teacher is helping somebody see exactly what you see, or realize exactly what you realize. And if you don't do that, then you didn't do the job. I see a lot of times, and even in the school system, where it's like they saying, "Oh, this student did this," or "the student was bad," and I always say to the teachers, like, no, if you didn't help this person learn what they needed to learn, then the student didn't fail, you failed, because you're a teacher. You're supposed to teach and help somebody understand what you understand, and not just tell somebody, all right, do this and do that, and then just expect them to just understand it. And as a teacher, the job is really to understand people and speak in tongues, because that's what speaking in tongues is when it's not when you just talking in the language where they say that God is, you speaking only God can understand or something like that, and God doesn't need a human being to say stuff to feel good. It's God uses a human being to express what it needs to be expressed for all to understand. That's what it's not. Human beings say something to God like God needs a human being to feel good. The human being supposed to open themselves to be used as a vessel to express what needs to be expressed, or what needs to be realized, so all can understand. And what that is actually that God wants everybody to understand is that all is God. and it's God realizing himself. And to speak in tongues, this is what teachers do. What they say, prophets, and I don't like saying these words because it's like it's certain things attached to these words. So it's like, and it like certain words sometimes turn people off in like different like if you say certain words to Christians, it'll turn them off. If you talk to somebody that's like a Muslim and you say certain words, it turns them off. If you say something to somebody that's into like comedic science, and you say certain words that sound too religious or Christiany, but when I'm saying it's like the core essence of it. So it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna say any words, but I'm talking about the core essence of it. But when you're a prophet, or when you prophesizing, or you're speaking in tongues, it's not saying that you're speaking in tongues or you're prophesizing like, oh, in so and so year this is gonna happen. It's like what's the point? Like, okay, if it's gonna happen, then it's just gonna happen. When you speak in prophecy, it's just speaking. You're speaking to people and telling them who they are, and you're delivering what God is expressing through you. And this is when they talked about talking in parables and storytelling and allegories, because this is a way, for the same way they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. this is the same thing with stories. When you use stories and you use allegories and metaphors and mythology, this helps to get everybody on different stages, and you can speak to everybody at once, because you can tell a story, and then in that one story you can hear it one way and get something out of it. You can get some nutrients out of it, right? And then somebody else hear it that's not on the same quote unquote level. And I don't like to use levels, like, because that turns people off from spirituality sometimes. When you talk about levels, like, oh, I'm this and I can actually project, and nah. Somebody might be on a different level, a lower level or something, and then they heard the same exact story, but they got something out of it differently, and that might not be the highest of that story, but that little bit that they got is a stepping stone for them. Sometimes a lot of people stick to that stepping stone, and then they hold on to it, and then they never leave it. So instead of just staying on that stepping stone, like, oh, okay, that's what a lot of people do with a lot of religions, is they take what they heard and then they just run with it, and then they hold on to it. They hold on to that orange, just like instead of taking the orange and extracting what you need from it, and then let everything else go and go through the toilet or whatever, they hold on to it, and we should use everything as a stepping stone. And using storytelling and parables, this is how you talk to like everybody at once. And you what you're doing, what you're trying to do, the ultimate goal in teaching in spirituality is to help another person have an epiphany, or have a realization, the same realization that you have within yourself, is to help, or it's like you know how you light a candle with another candle? It's like you're doing that with the realization you had. It's like you're taking that fire and then lighting another candle with the fire within you. And that's what you that's the goal of teaching it when it comes to spirituality. And sometimes, like, the realization you have, like most people within ourselves, we feel like what we know is the highest. So we can think that, oh, what I'm teaching is the highest realization you can have. So they're teaching it as if that's what it is. It is the highest, and then people are holding on to that also, and then staying on that stepping stone and not keep going. So that's why another thing is to keep going, is to always keep going, and take what it is and keep going, and leave whatever else. Take whatever nutrients. Sometimes somebody might have decades worth of nutrients and being around them, or not saying to leech off of them, but like being around them, and the essence within them, it's a lot of nutrients within them, and that you can use that, and then, but still you're not holding on to the person or the orange or the physical thing that they're using to as a vehicle or a carrier, that's just gonna be trash or going down the toilet when you finish eating it, and the small intestines extracts what it needs from it. So and they say that by their fruits, you should know them by their fruits. I know a lot of people, when they hear that, because with a lot of things in the Bible, they hear it like seek and you shall find, and seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things should be added unto you. All of those type of Bible scriptures, once people hear that, they just turn that into like a material thing and make it about the world, and oh, he said seek and you shall find, and they make it like the law of attraction and attracting money, or seek first the kingdom of God and all these things shall come, and they're not even seeking God really, or they pretend they're seeking God, so quote unquote all these things shall be added unto you. and it's not about God. But by their fruit you shall know them by their fruit. It's not about, oh, you shall know them by if they got a Bentley or whatever. I mean, you can use that in a mundane, in a carnal way. Like, yeah, you can say that. Like, you can say that, all right, this person got this or whatever, but this person could be a drug dealer too, though, and have a Bentley. Or this person could have killed 10 people and was a hitman or something, and made all that money and got a Bentley now. So you can't say that, but it's really talking about by their fruit, you shall know them by their fruits, meaning it's about, that whole chapter is about teachers, and meaning the people that you shall know them by who they taught and how they are. So their fruits, the fruits are the quote unquote students. How are their students? Those are the fruits. So you say, oh, okay, how are your children? How did your children turn out? What your fruit is your children also, like, and it's not saying like, oh, I had a child and they turned out, meaning how did you raise them, and what did you instill in them, and what did you teach them, and then that fruit bared, and this child manifested into this, and that with that wisdom that was instilled, this is what they became now. And also, as a teacher or coach or whatever, it's like, okay, what did you, if you a good rapper, put another rapper on, and make him a good rapper too. If you a good producer, all right, you at old age now. Get an apprentice, and then teach them, and then make them as good as you, and then hopefully that they would be better. Whatever realization you have, what that same realization, pass it on to another, and then hope they get a greater realization that they can do the same thing, and then pass that on, and then it keeps going on. So that's what that means. So the whole point of teaching also is to keep the torch going. So you make another fruit just like you. Pause. you make another you bear fruit, and then that you get the essence of that, and then it keeps going with the evolution. So it's like you laying foundations for and another stepping stone, so that the people that's behind you, they can go up them stepping stones, and then it's easier. Just like let's say these days, all right, you can say, people back in the days can be like, oh, we were smarter back then, we had this, we did that, and we used to do this because things are easier for you guys now. We used to have to walk and do this, and then we was more stronger, and a lot of times it's actually true, but for evolution, things are, people that are born in these days, things are just basically like handed down to them, but it's because of those people that went through those things. So now people can just be born into to these things. It's not that the people now are not as smart. It's just that they're part of the evolution. So those people had to do those things to help with the evolution, so that now the foundation is set and that stepping stone is already there. So they can just walk up now and then help keep evolving. But with that same thing, it could be with, like, okay, with certain inventions, but we're not talking about like physical things. We're talking about on a spiritual level now, where like in today's day, people are just coming into because certain knowledge. Because back in the days, they can say, oh, we had to work for this knowledge, we had to do this, and we had to sit through these things, and we were studying and doing this. But in today's day, they're born into it, and it's like at their disposal easily now. But those people had to go through those things for this evolution, for people to have that foundation set already, where they can just be born into it, and it's just it, and just walk up the stepping stones easily, just to keep going to set another foundation. But on a spiritual level, not with like inventions like, oh, before we didn't have phones, we had to do this, so we had to we invented this, so we had to go through a time where our phones were like this, and now you guys could just have a smartphone now. And no, you had to go through those times so we can just walk up those stepping stones and be able to keep going now, to set new stepping stones. But we're not talking about material things now with like inventions like the phone. We're talking about on a spiritual level. We're talking about these things, setting stepping stones, whereas the knowledge could go on a different level and have these higher realizations. And I'm realizing is with it's like everybody is taking every spiritual knowledge and turning it into a material thing. And it's like you have these bunch of these quotes and these sayings and these different texts, and it's like they're not hearing the God in it, and the having that inner realization with these things. It's like they're taking everything and they turning it in like to a material thing, and like, oh, seek and you shall find, and it's like they talking about seek and you shall find. You're talking about seek God, seek within yourself, seek to have inner knowledge. And but people hear that and they thinking like seeking you shall find, and then it's about, oh, it's some material. Seek and you will get a new car, or it is like this is like, you don't have to mix up spirituality and knowledge of the self with that stuff. Like the knowledge of the material world is like is plain, meaning all you have to do is work hard, and whether it's good or bad, like you have criminals, you got people that's hustling, you got people that's doing whatever it is and getting money and getting rich. There's people that's doing the right thing, doing the schooling, understand certain knowledge, economics, and they're getting rich. They don't need anything spiritual, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's there. Like you don't have to mix spirituality with that. All you have to do is work hard, get the education you need, learn about money, learn about economics, and you will become you're gonna become successful. That it's not really any spirituality in that, and that's just, it's plain. Like, it's like if you getting into spirituality, get into spirituality for just spirituality, and when you into your material life, be in that, and it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with being in the material world, or being into economics and wanting to be successful and wanting to be rich or whatever. Do that, but that's for that. The thing is where you're saying, oh, you're taking those texts, or learning about certain metaphysics or spirituality for material things, and it's like, okay, like it's not, that means it's not really in your heart. And that's when you're gonna find out, when you're using spirituality or spiritual laws for material things, you're gonna find out it's not your heart's desire. And then when you do get those things, you're gonna find out that that's not what's making you happy. And then you're gonna keep seeking for more things, and then that's when you get caught into the loop. And that's basically it was supposed to be a quick one, and just talking about teaching and studying, but it just, all right.